Okay, we'll try.
Being 6 o'clock, let's open the meeting for August 22nd, 2019. If I get everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To start the meeting off, I'd like to say that we have 3 unexcused absences. Mr. Brown, Mr. Bulio, and Mr. Baker, I'm sorry. And we have 1 excused, Mr. Bean. He had a family emergency. With that said, I'm going to ask Mr. Humphreys.
Williams.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Williams.
Williams, I'm sorry, I get that
That's okay.
backwards all the time. Mr. Williams, Humphrey Williams, to step in to make it so that we can proceed with our meeting. Okay, so you can pick whoever you want to sit in for. So with that said, Mr. Woodruff would like to talk to us in reference to the 2020 budget and a couple thoughts he has about making a change to the way we do it normally. Mr. Woodruff.
Yes. Usually, your budget is pretty simple, and from year to year, it usually stays about the same. The last time that the budget was actually approved by the voters, you had a budget of about $1,500. That year, about $1,700 was spent. So the default budget also gave you $1,500 this year. But what the idea is, and what the planning board is going to do, is establish escrow accounts for both the public notice line and for the postage lines. What the planning board intends to do for the budget then is put $1 in those lines, which reduces what you're asking for. It's good for the taxpayers, basically. So what I'm saying is that you guys, if you wish, can do the same thing. Again, that's your public notice line and your postage line can be reduced to $1. And whatever that comes out to, that helps.
I don't know, did you send the RSA that says we can allow this to everyone?
Yeah, I did.
Did people have a chance to?
Yeah, I saw what
Did
it
you?
said.
Yeah,
Mr.
it does
Skillings?
give you the ability to create an escrow account. So really what happens is, when an applicant comes in to file an application for a variance or an appeal or an equitable waiver or a special exception, Ashley will take it in and she can figure out exactly what the postage and the public notice fees are. We've recently increased that with the Board of Selectmen anyway, so that it covers within $3 or so of what these fees have gone up to. We're going to take that in for each application. It will go into an escrow account, and the only thing you can do with the escrow account is spend it out for public notice or postage. And so there'll be no money that comes from the taxpayer, and there is no connection, by the way. When we take in all the fees, it just goes back into the general fund.
Right.
The voters and the citizens don't ever know that it's really being replenished in a way, but not in a revenue line that is directly correlated to these lines.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen. And so in a way, people think that's really what you guys spend. And you don't really spend
Right.
it. But this way, your budget will actually show what's actually happening.
Okay, now, is there any fees to this transactions?
No.
Okay, because if there's
No.
fees, then we won't have, those will be eating up some of the money we put in there, so we'll get to a point where we're in negative balance.
Right.
Yeah, there's no fees to create an escrow account.
Okay, the bank doesn't charge us no monthly fees, nothing?
No, because they
Okay.
understand we're a municipality.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what bank would be holding it, so, you know, how that changes from bank to bank, so. Okay, so with that, also, what else was I gonna ask? As far as attorney fees, has there been any discussion with the selectmen in reference to that we show a line for that, whereas lately, last year, we had substantial amount of attorney fees?
And you may in the future.
This is something that I think needs to be brought up at the September 14th meeting. It's where every department, every board, commission, committee that has a budget goes in, that's a Saturday on the 14th, and presents their budget. So I'm not sure if it's going to be you, Mr. Chairman, or if it's going to be someone from staff. But that's an excellent question. I don't know what happened to your attorney fee line.
Right. Because for full disclosure to the public, that should be enclosed, because that is an expenditure that we had.
I think right now there's an attorney fee line that's either in the town administrator's budget or in a.
I think it's in the
That's where I
TA.
think it is. It's in the town administrator's budget.
I'm just saying, I like the idea that people can look at the budget and see exactly what's happening with this, what we're spending, knowing that what we spend on certain issues, we're getting money back for that from the applicant.
Right.
But there is some issues of some places that we're not getting the money back from, and one of them is the council.
Right.
So
I think that's a great question to ask at that September 14th meeting where all the budgets will be discussed. The budget committee and the board of selectmen will be there at the same time.
But we have to we have to come to a budget tonight, because we're not going to meet before the September 14th meeting.
No.
So we have to come up with a budget tonight. The three of us, unfortunately, just the three of us, are going to have to come up with that. Now, it's easy to say, yes, we could leave it the same as last year, 1,500, with the assumption that it can be changed if, in fact, we choose to put an attorney line.
I can tell you from the budget committee side of it, we put ours into the town administrator knowing that on the 14th, anything that we need to adjust, we can adjust at that time.
Right.
So I guess I need a motion from one of you guys to oil this chair, I guess. But
Before we do, I got a question. Ashley, when it comes to printing the materials and things like that, because I've noticed on here, expenditure-wise, year-to-date's only like $48 under postage, but there's nothing under printing and things. So,
It's not up to date.
well, that's kind of what I'm asking. How are we keeping track of it? So when you are getting ready to establish the budget, we know. I mean, I know these things aren't cheap. You know what we're putting together, and $100 doesn't seem like the right amount of money for printing.
When we print now, we put in a code. Mine is land use, and I print using that.
Yep.
But I don't think they actually calculate it at this time. I think
Yeah.
we just put it in there. My understanding was in the future that could happen down the road. The printing would be charged to the appropriate accounts, but at this time it's not. So I'm not exactly sure.
So everything's a general fund
If
now.
you're talking about printing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Printing, well, the only thing that we can look at right now is what's happened in the past.
Yeah, I understand.
The farthest back you can go on this sheet is 2017,
Right.
where you used $103.25. That, I think, is a pretty good benchmark. The year after that, you used less, but I'm not sure what the reason was. It might have been because they got a new
Machine
copier,
or something, yeah.
and a lot of your stuff was printed using a different code or something. I don't know, but that kind of doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
I would keep it somewhere right around that figure, not the 2018 expended or the 2019 default budget.
Yeah, I'm not saying $100 is wrong on that, Bruce. I'm just trying to figure, because we've all got, I know when Bob on the budget committee, it's the same thing. When you're trying to figure out what you're really spending for
That's
printing,
right.
we don't know in all cases. So,
So the other thing I wanted to say was, if you look at the 2018 approved budget line, column, you would take those two figures for public notice and for postage and put $1 in there, and then add that up to see where you come out. It won't be 1,500 anymore.
no.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. We need a motion to adjust the public notice to $1, and then we'll need another motion to adjust the
Postage.
postage to $1.
I'll make the motion to adjust the public note. I think you can do it in one motion, right?
I like to
If you
split
want
them,
it
that
separate,
way
that's
there's no
fine.
clarity, there's clarity and there's no question who voted for what.
But I'll make a motion that we change the public notice line, the budget line, to $1 because we're creating an escrow account to cover that expense.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You wanna make the next motion
Yeah.
too for the,
I'll make a motion that we adjust the ZBA postage budget to $1 for the same reason that we have an escrow account that'll cover those expenses.
second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so what's that give us for a new budget? Did you figure that out yet, Bruce?
Yeah,
No, I did not.
I will figure it out right now.
One of us can do it.
We are knocking off $855 from that, which will leave us $645 for a budget.
And I guess I would suggest that the board think about attending the Saturday budget workshop and asking, presenting this and asking the question about attorney's fees and whether it should be returned to your budget or whether it's best to leave it in the town administrative budget. That is probably the question you want to ask.
Well, I just thought it was a good idea because the town people can see what it really costs to run this board.
Right.
I mean, because it is an expenditure.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is.
normally, on average cases, there's no counsel involved, but we had one case that we had no choice but to have counsel.
Correct.
And
So-
it chewed up a lot of money.
It sure did. I don't know what the total was. I don't dare ask.
No.
But anyway,
You're always gonna have appeals, so that means chewing up some more money,
well,
you know. Usually.
so are we gonna stay at 645 or you wanna round it to 650?
The only thing you're doing if you're rounding it to 650 is you just have to put it under one of the other lines.
Right.
That's all.
We have to put $5 on another line.
Right.
Whatever. I will leave it at 645 then.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone wanna make a motion for the new 2020 budget, proposed budget for the ZBA at $645?
I will make a motion to submit the budget for the ZBA of $645.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that's put to rest. All right, next on the agenda is public comment. There's no public, so I guess we don't need to do that. Discussion and approval of minutes. Okay, so has everyone had a chance? I know you have, because I saw,
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
run into that.
just for the record, I don't like to change anything in the minutes other than typos and stuff like that prior to a meeting, because it may read one way to one person and may read a different way to someone else.
Yep, no,
So I like to
understood.
get everybody's fingerprints on it first, and then the discussion of whether or not the changes should be in fact made. And if they are, then so be it.
Okay. No, that's
So, let's take the minutes from the June 27th meeting. Get a problem.
yeah.
We got a problem on that. We gotta table them. We don't have a quorum for those minutes.
June 27th?
Yeah.
Yeah. Up to 25th.
Which is too bad because we really should get this filed.
Yeah.
Because there's a decision in here. And it's my understanding, Mr. Town Planner, you tell me if I'm incorrect, that if someone's not in attendance, by rights, they shouldn't be voting on the minutes.
That's an easy answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because how can they testify that something's accurate when, in fact, they weren't there to see if it was accurate? So, all right, so we're going to table the 27th meeting. The meeting. I was hoping not to have a meeting next month, but we might have to have one just to approve these. Okay, let's go to the July 25th meeting minutes. Other than typos, which Mr. Williams did a great job of pointing them out. Actually.
These ones should be corrected for you, though.
Yeah.
Any other discussion on anything you saw in them that you don't agree with or you feel is incorrect? Same thing, don't agree with, incorrect. But.
I had the one, but I'm trying to, in looking at the motion that you made, I know I had made a suggestion because it just seemed like there was something missing.
One of my motions?
On the motion, yeah, and that was the only other one that, it wasn't a typo, I just thought it needed something, and I forget what the heck I had said at the time. If you look on the second page, it would not create it's incomplete when we talked about the regional impact. Okay, it says would not create regional impact, and adding the amenities to the campground, whether it constitutes a regional impact. I think it was missing something there, and that's why I said, and if adding, I think that was why I added the word, if adding it would constitute a regional impact.
If expanding.
Motions that revision.
Yeah.
to-
If expanding or if adding those amenities would create an,
And to
regional impact.
recall.
Yeah, I brought this up at the planning board meeting last Tuesday,
Right.
that the motion language didn't seem to be complete.
Right. I know when you brought, well, and matter of fact, that's when the thing crashed and we didn't get to hear the decision on that, but that was the reason I made those comments originally, Stan,
Adding
because I think when we did that,
amenities.
it was questionable about that. See, I put down, if adding amenities to the campground, and I get rid of whether it, I says constitutes. That was what I was trying to, so it would read, and if adding amenities to the campground constitutes a regional impact.
Our English major's not here today. Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
So after the word and, scratch adding, put the word if. And then after campground, scratch whether it, because it doesn't need it.
Anything else?
That's on the next motion as well. Because you re-motioned it. It needs to read the same thing.
Yeah, because it's copied over, right?
Right.
Okay,
It's
so
just a change of the wording, that's all.
just the language, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else you guys got? Are you all set with those changes, Ashley?
Yep.
Okay, I need a motion to accept the minutes with the changes.
I'll
For-
make the motion to accept the minutes for the July 27th meeting.
25th.
July 25th, 2019 meeting with additions, additional changes.
With corrections.
Yes.
Second?
I'll second the motion with corrections.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Did you table the other?
Yes, I have no choice. There's only two of us here that can
All right,
vote on it.
'cause all the others are up.
Okay, other business. I guess only other business I'd like to talk about is if in fact someone cannot make a meeting, must get in touch with me. And if I'm unavailable, alternate would be Ashley. No one else can really be involved with it, excuse absence, other than myself. And Ashley really needs to get in touch with me to let me know, and then we'll decide if it's can be excused.
Right.
We can't be going through the town planner or anyone else.
Well, what about your vice chair?
Well,
Because all we can
That's why he's there.
tell whoever calls in or emails in is
Right.
that we'll pass
Right.
the word along, that you're not coming. That's all we can do.
I mean, obviously, if family emergencies, anything to do with the family is definitely an excused absence. But I will make a statement that this isn't a board that I feel that people can pick and choose what meetings they're gonna come to. I feel either you're 100% committed to this board, or you're not committed to this board, one of the two. It's not right to the other people. I mean, we have business we can't take care of tonight. And we're most likely gonna have to have a meeting next month just to take care of that, where I'm sure a lot of people would love to not have a meeting next month. So, I think that I'm not gonna, the horse is down, I wanna keep on kicking it, but,
I agree.
all right. Anything you have to say, Mr. Skillings?
No, I think it's absolutely, if you're on the board, it should be 100%. And if you are not, step down.
Right, Mr. Williams?
I agree with your comment. I stepped in because I know you needed the help,
No,
and I'm
we
here
wouldn't
for that
even-
reason.
We wouldn't have been able to have a meeting tonight if you weren't here.
Yeah.
So,
It's just,
and we have some stuff that needs to get recorded.
Mhm.
That's, even a simple, I don't want to pick one thing, but let's say someone I don't know, we gave them a variance for 10 feet or something closer to the lot line or something simple like that. That still needs to be recorded. And we gotta get the minutes done before we can record it. So that's all gonna be a procedure that I'm gonna stick to. And again, like Mr. Skilling says, if you don't have the commitment to be here when you're supposed to be here, then please step down
Yep.
and, you know, we'll take.
Find someone that will.
Right. Anything else from anyone? The audience? Oh, that's right, we don't have any tonight.
Empty chairs.
Mr. Carrier? No?
Nope.
Ashley, you all set?
Yeah.
Anything else, Mr. Woodruff?
I'm all set, thank you.
With that said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.